But first, women everywhere continue to speak out about their treatment at the hands of predators. And some of the revelations are downright shocking. I mean, shocking. I'm at the point now where I'm like, cannot believe that this stayed silent for so long. It's gone beyond Harvey Weinstein. Last night at the Elle Women in Hollywood event, Reese Witherspoon revealed that she was harassed by a director when she was 16 years old. 16. She said, I find it really hard to sleep, hard to think, hard to communicate a lot of the feelings that I've been having about anxiety and the guilt for not speaking up earlier. She added, I wish that I could tell you that it was an isolated incident in my career, but sadly, it was not. At the same event, Jennifer Lawrence spoke of a degrading experience she had early on in her career when producers told her she had to lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks if she wanted to act in this production. And she says a female producer had J-Law do a nude lineup with just tape covering their intimate parts. I mean, what is going on out there, right? What is going on? Martha Stewart speaking out on this, saying when she was 16, she was working as a model when she was harassed, told to strip down to a bikini in an audition, which she called harassment of the first order, and on it goes. We get one every day, every day. Meantime, down in Washington, President Trump is in the news today after he made an outlandish claim about previous U.S. presidents and Gold Star families, saying that our prior presidents did not call the families of fallen soldiers.
You look at President Obama and other presidents, most of them didn't make calls. A lot of them didn't make calls. I like to call when it's appropriate, when I think I'm able to do it.
The president was responding to questions about why he'd taken almost 2 weeks to comment on the death of 4 U.S. soldiers overseas earlier this month. And Gold Star families are saying something very different, not to mention former representatives of our presidents. One woman whose brother was killed in Iraq said, quote, President Bush listened while I screamed at him and then held me as I sobbed. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders says President Trump was not criticizing his predecessors, but, quote, stating a fact. The Gold Star families and those who have worked in the White House say something very different. And we've seen that. We've covered the stories of our former presidents calling Gold Star families. Their representatives have documented meeting with them face to face, letting them scream at them. President Bush, Dana Perino, my old colleague at Fox News, told this story about how this woman yelled at President Bush and yelled at President Bush. And they got in and he stood there and took it, and they got in the helicopter, and he looked at her and said, she sure was mad at me. And Dana looked at him, and he looked out the window and had a single tear running down his face. Presidents have sat with Gold Star families time and time again, and it's not just this president. The record needed to be corrected on that one. Okay, from inside the Beltway to outside the United States and up above. This is a happy ending up above us. Researchers are now saying that they have found basically how gold comes to us. It's from the Laser Gravitational Wave Observatory. They captured 2 neutron stars. Do you know what that is? It's 2 dead stars. I didn't know either. 2 dead stars colliding against one another. And this is an animation that NASA made to explain this to you. So the collision ejected mass amounts of gold, silver, and I don't know, uranium or platinum, something like that. Anyway, they had long suspected that these things originated from this kind of collision, but now they say that this proves it. And so if you've got a gold wedding band on your finger right now, or if you've got platinum in your jewelry, that's where it came from. That's what the geniuses are telling us. Dead stars collide, good things happen down below. Joining us now to discuss these and other headlines, Nia Vardalos is here. Nia, come on in. Yay! All right, raise your hand if you've seen Big Fat Greek Wedding. I know. Did you know that it's one of the highest grossing pictures of all time?
Isn't that crazy?
I know.
I actually walked down the street here in New York. I don't live here. I'm here doing this play, and I walked down the street, and people were like, hey, Big Fat Greek girl. I will take it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so we're going to have Nia here for 2 segments. We're going to talk about her play, which is just tearing up the reviews. People are loving what you're doing. But I want to talk first about the news of the day, including, do you believe in ghosts? We're like a week and a half away from Halloween.
Yes.
Well,
of course.
Apparently, there's, you know that the hotel on which The Shining was based? This is out in Colorado, I think. And it's called the Stanley Hotel. And people can go through this hotel and like take pictures and get spooked out. One guy did it and actually says he captured a photo of a ghost, of a little girl. Okay, can you see it? Let's see if we can put it up on the big screen. Okay, so he says that this is a picture of a little girl in a robe. Look.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Oh man, every hair on my body just stood up.
And that it wasn't there, you know, to the naked eye, but when he got back home and looked at the photographs, there it was.
Yes.
Do you believe?
I believe there's some transfer of energy, perhaps. I think that maybe we've been here before. I'm not sure. I just don't want to say no to anything at this point in my life.
I know. I feel like who are we as mere mortals to say it's not possible?
Yep.
Right? It's a little coincidental that it should happen on like some tour that was like looking for ghosts. I will say that, but I like to believe, because I like to believe there's something that comes next. You know? Hopefully not that. Hopefully not just hanging out at the Stanley Hotel in your robe.
No. I hope somebody would just come to you, tap you on the shoulder, and tell you the winning lotto numbers.
Yes.
That's better.
Much better.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have, I don't know how many days to Christmas, but apparently the Hallmark Channel is now saying we have to start celebrating it immediately. They're starting 67 days of Christmas movies before Halloween.
Yeah.
Is this outrageous?
Yes, it's not right. When the minute the leaves turn and you hear Christmas carols in the store, that ain't right.
Right.
No, it's
Can't
not.
we have Halloween and then Thanksgiving before we have to celebrate Christmas?
Yeah. What does it? Do they think it's going to make us shop more, or put us in a panic of, oh, I have to do my Christmas shopping and then forget I did it, so I'll do it again?
Well, it is Hallmark, right? They are in the business of selling us stuff.
Yes.
So maybe
possibly.
that's true. And, I mean, I like watching the Christmas movies, but like in October?
No,
Right?
I like watching it in my jammies after I've just eaten Christmas dinner.
Yeah, exactly. A little Christmas story.
Yeah.
All right, finally today, do you know that it's National Pasta Day?
Yes, I hear it's National Pasta Day.
Now, there is a Greek pasta, I'm told. Is it?
Pasticcio.
Pasticcio.
Yeah, well,
right?
according to my dad, we invented pasta. So
Naturally. Oh, look, this is what it is.
Wow.
Is this any good?
Yes. Yes.
What's in this stuff?
Okay, so this is layers of course, my mom makes this. This is layers of meat and, of course, pasta and cinnamon. And we do everything. And then on top, there's this sauce called a bechamel sauce, which is just layers of goodness and happiness and fat and everything.
That is good. Oh, I taste the cinnamon.
That's awesome.
Cinnamon?
It's really good. Oh, wow.
As if we needed an excuse to have pasta. And then at the end of the show, we're going to have my nutritionist here to tell me I shouldn't have done that.
I never have food guilt.
Never?
No, I go to a Pilates class and the women in the morning are like, oh, I ate this brownie, and so I drag myself here. I'm like, ladies,
you're at
just
Pilates.
Celebrate that you ate that brownie. Was it good? Just say it like it hugs you from the inside. Eat.
I love that. Yeah. Hugs you from the inside.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.